Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live.
Habari Live.
From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast, the show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Aisha, Jimmy, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Yes. Good morning. Welcome to Habari Live, your go-to podcast for the Phoenix area and beyond. Today, we're going to do a quick interview and talk to a couple of individuals who are making a difference in the city, man, bringing motivational speaking and two authors also, who will be discussing some of the things that they are doing for the city and some of the hardships that they faced while trying to build for themselves. His compelling story that we're going to talk about today, and we want to get straight into it. So welcome to Habari Live, where the stories are real, the voices are now, and the truth hits different. I'm your host, Damon Ellison, and today we're sitting down with a man whose journey through loss, grief, and resilience is nothing short of powerful. At just 42 years old, Shane Musgrove faced a tragedy most of us can't begin to imagine. The sudden loss of his wife and the mother of his three children to breast cancer in just 17 days. But that's only a part of his story. Raised in a home marked by addiction and abuse, Shane lost both of his parents to overdoses. He's battled with his mental health, helped his brother beat addiction, and now stand tall, using his voice, his pain, and his pen to inspire others to find healing and purpose in the ashes. Welcome to the show, Shane, and we appreciate you coming through and talking about your story. Tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your story, and get us caught up on what made you become a motivational speaker.
Yeah, thanks, Damon. So I'm just a normal guy living here in Arizona. I was born and raised in Benton Harbor, Michigan, inner city. I went through troubles and struggles like anybody in life. I grew up in an abusive home, maybe a little more violent than others.
Yeah.
There's one of my favorite stories I like to tell. My dad beat the shit out of my mom one day. My mom decided she wasn't going to come home. And my dad called her and said, "Be home in 30 minutes or your house is on fire."
Oh, my goodness.
And 30 minutes later, my childhood home burned down.
Goodness.
So that's the kind of abuse I went through. But to me, it was normal. Growing up in that environment was
Right.
normal. Got in a bad car accident at age 17, skull fracture, lost my football scholarship, couldn't play anymore. But, again, just another adversity I had to overcome. Alcoholism and drug addiction was not uncommon to people in that area.
Yeah.
It found me, found my family. My dad later died of a drug overdose. My mom was into drugs at some point. My brother ended up spending 6 years in prison later due to meth usage. I went down that same path. I just always had people looking out for me and pulling me out. And one of these people was a lady I met when I was probably 18 years old. Her name was Sonia. We went on our first date. She got me off the bottle. She got me off the pills. She got me to quit doing everything I was doing. She showed me some positivity in my life.
Yeah.
Ended up becoming my wife. Ended up becoming the mother of my three children.
Yeah.
And fast forward for 22 years, we were married. She was a great woman. She was a great mother. She was there for all of us, and she helped straighten me up. There were some challenges. There was a bankruptcy. We moved probably 10 times for me chasing the corporate career, getting my education, doing the thing what I thought was best for our family. There was infidelity on my part, adultery on my part, but again, just things I had to overcome, and she stayed with me. And then our life was pretty good. 3 kids, almost grown. Our youngest was a teenager, a junior in high school. And I come home from work one day. I was traveling. It was Thursday, February 22nd. And she said, I don't feel very well. I want to go make sure I don't have a stomach flu. We had some travel coming up. So we went into the little clinic at Fry's grocery store.
Wow.
And they said, we feel something in your stomach. We think you should go to the ER. And we went to the ER for a stomach ache, of all things.
Wow.
They did some tests and said, you have cancer.
Holy crap.
And my life changed right then. Hers obviously changed. That 17 days was incredible, but fast forward and 17 days later, there was 8 in the hospital, 9 days at our home. And my 43-year-old healthy wife passed away from metastatic breast cancer after a 17-day fight. And it changed my world.
That's it's very sad to hear. I mean, it's no one wants to go through that, and especially when it's someone that's the mother of your children and your whole life, man. And we all need that person that gets us out the gutter, man, and that person who saves us from situations that may not be healthy for us. And it's awesome that you were able to find that person, but it's also devastating that you lost her. But your wife passed away after, like you said, 17 days of battling breast cancer. What was going through your mind during those first few days, and how did you find the strength to show up for your children?
Man, the first thing we thought when we heard those words in the hospital is, what's next? What do we do? We fight, right? My wife's a warrior. I've always fought, athlete. You have that mentality of we're going to win, we're going to beat this. And then the nurse said, the amount of tumors in your abdomen are so innumerable, we can't even count them.
Wow.
And I'm not a doctor. I didn't know what that meant, but I knew it didn't sound good.
Goodness.
And then over the next 3 days, speaking with the oncologist and doing different tests, it went from, your wife might have a few months to survive and fight this, to it might be a few weeks, to you need to contact your family and get them here immediately. It doesn't look good. And it literally spread. Metastatic means it spread. It was stage 4. It started in her breast, but went to her lymph nodes, her spine, her abdomen, her chest, her hips, her bones, her liver, just all throughout her body. As far as the strength to be there for my kids, I was a father and a husband first. I think I like to say this: a lot of real men, that they'll put other people in front of themselves, and we put everything else down deep inside, and we deal with it. We figure out a way, and we make it work for them. And initially, that's what I had to do. I would have my grieving moments in private. I mean, I always let my kids see me cry. I let them see my emotions, but I didn't let them see the dark demons that were deep inside of me. So the private moments when I'm laying on a garage floor crying, I'm, in bed at noon, biting my pillow, screaming into it. I hid those from them, but I had to be strong for my kids and just, make sure they were okay getting through this as well.
Yeah, man, it's a tough situation. And, I lost my mother at 27 from cancer. And, one of the things that I went through was you just don't think, especially when you know your mother is probably one of the strongest people that I ever knew. And I just didn't have that in my mind that it was going to happen. You just don't think, oh, she'll beat it. It'll be okay. I'm young too, so, and when it finally hits you, man, it's tough. And the time it takes to get over it, you may not ever get over it. And to be strong and to be able to help others, man, I that's why I give kudos to you to take that time to say, you know what, I have to help others going through this. I have to tell my story for other people can be able to get through the things that I went through, and that takes a big person, man. And going through it as kids, it's really, really tough. So I'm happy that you were able to be there for them and to guide them through that situation. Because, man, 16, 17, 18 to lose your mom, that's tough, man. It's always tough. So you've experienced unimaginable loss, both parents to overdose, childhood abuse, and your wife's passings. How have these compounded traumas shaped your definition of strength and survival?
Yeah, so great question. And it was my father and my mother-in-law that passed of drug overdoses. My mother, she had some issues with drugs, but she's alive and doing well, and she's another strong woman that's there to support me and help me as well. Honestly, I had to go back to my childhood and remember all of the adversities that I've ever overcome. And people ask me that a lot. They number one, they say you should write a book, and that's coming. My biography is coming. But number two, they look at the trauma in my life and they're just like, nobody should experience that amount of trauma. And I put myself in the position of others. Like, everything in the world that I've been through, man, I wouldn't want to put myself in somebody else's shoes that's losing a child, that lost their wife in instantly.
Mhm.
I wouldn't want to put my life, I have a friend that I think his 7-year-old has cancer right now and has had cancer, been battling since day one. Like, I wouldn't put myself in his shoes.
No,
I don't
man.
want to trade that. So I drew a lot of inspiration just from how I grew up. It was unimaginable. It was normal for me, unimaginable for other people, but uh, that's how I've just always done it. You put an obstacle in front of me, I'm not going to quit.
Right.
If it don't kill me, I'm either going to go up over it, around it,
Mhm.
through it,
Yeah.
underneath it somehow.
Right.
What's the other option is, and that's how I felt when she passed. Like, I mean, of course I grieved. I still grieve. I mean, it's been 3 years and I still miss her like crazy. I talk about her like crazy. That's part of this platform. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, I'm still living and I have a life to live. And I could have went down the depression route and
Mhm.
went off the deep end with drugs and alcohol and women and gambling and
Right.
anything else I want to do. But instead, I chose to spin it and do something positive. And man, it's hard to tell your story. It's hard to sit
It
and
is.
tell people, hey, I've sold crack cocaine. Hey, I've
Mhm.
cheated on my wife. Hey,
Right.
I've, done X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
And yet here's how I overcome it. But
Right.
that's what I want to do, man. And if it's hard on me and help somebody else, then I fulfilled my purpose.
Yeah, man. We we need more people like you. That's what makes the world a better place, man. Is when people go out of their way to help others, man, and to be vulnerable. It's tough to admit your the things that you've done wrong. To admit that the things that you were in bad places and that you had weak moments. People don't like to admit those things. It's tough for some people, and everybody want to appear to be strong at all times, especially men. We don't want to show any weakness, but sometimes, man, it's best to show exactly what you went through and how you was able to get through those things, those obstacles. So you mentioned returning to poetry and written word. What role does creative expression play in your healing process still today?
Yeah. So when I was younger and I was in that abusive home and with that father that, um, I guess like any boy, I loved my father, but at the end of the day, as an adult, the best thing for my father was probably to pass away because he was a nightmare for me and my wife and my kids and my mom.
Mm.
Um, so when I was in that abusive situation, I would find myself in my room with a notebook and a pen, and I would write. And I go back and read some of my poetry, some of the stuff that isn't lost, and some of it's pretty dark, man. You look
Yeah.
at it from a teenage perspective, and you went,
Mhm.
"Wow, that's pretty deep." And why did you write that? And then I just fell off. I didn't write for years and years and years, and I guess I didn't have a reason to write.
Mhm.
Um, so after my wife passed, I knew that I wanted to write a book about myself and about 17 days and my wife's passing, all the beautiful things that happened during her passing, but then also all the tragic things that have happened through my life and how I continue to overcome it and be successful and be
Mhm.
happy. And so I started to write that book, and then I had a grandbaby 10 months ago.
Wow.
So my first grandbaby, Blakely, and I decided to write her a book, and it's called My Grandma is an Angel.
Wow.
And it's all because Blakely will never meet her grandma Sonia here on Earth.
Mhm.
But I want Blakely to know that her grandma loves her and she has a grandma and she'll always be with her grandma. So I wrote this book. My Grandma is an Angel. It's right there in the camera. It's available on Amazon, but that is dedicated to my granddaughter,
Mm.
Blakely. And there's going to be more of those to come. So I'm going to do,
That's terrible.
a series of my mother, my father, because let's face it, 0 to 8 years old, they need some type of introduction to grief. They need some type of introduction to angels and heaven and loss and love, and that's what this book is about. So it's gotten me back to writing,
Yeah,
and
man.
it's therapeutic for me
Right.
too.
Right. I mean, writing is always getting those words to paper, man. Always makes a difference. And it's just sometimes you just get out those feelings. Let's take a look at the book here. We got it here. My grandmother's an angel. Beautiful book. Shane Musgrove. So where can people buy it and get it for they can, support you a little bit?
Sure, I appreciate that. You can get the book on Amazon or on Kindle.
Okay.
Just search My Grandma's an Angel or
Hmm.
Shane Musgrove. It'll come up. Or also support me on 17days.me and all
Mm.
my social media and merchandise is linked there as well.
Okay. Yeah, man, that's amazing, and it's a kid's book, right?
That's a kid's book. It's for 0 to 8 years old.
Okay.
It just talks about, how everybody has a grandma and how amazing grandmas are.
Mm-hmm.
And this little kid particularly, wrote it for Blakely, lost her grandma and doesn't know why, but
Yeah.
her grandma's still there, man. And the sunshine and the butterflies she sees and the sunflowers and the pink balloons, it's just all reminders that her grandma's there and loves her.
Yeah, man. I can see your story and this right here. For my daughter also. Because she'll never meet her grandmother, so it hits home. You know what I mean, for a lot of people. So my grandma is an angel. It helps young readers cope with the loss of a grandmother, understanding death, heaven, angels, love, and grief, while remembering that they are never alone. That's pretty great, man. That's that's pretty awesome, man. And like I said, man, it's dope that you would even take the time, because, like I said, a lot of people are going through this, and sometimes you never know. It may hit home for a person, and it's like I said, we're going through the same situation with my daughter. Never know my mom, so that's the way it is, man. But many people going through grief isolate themselves. What made you speak out? Share your story on how you went through the steps to decide to become a motivational speaker.
Yeah, so in the corporate world, I always did speaking anyway. It was very
Hmm.
specific to my job,
Okay.
but I enjoyed being on stage. I'm a very outgoing person. I love speaking to people. I don't mind being in front of a camera, in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
It actually energizes me, and I
Mhm.
like doing that. So it actually started the second day my wife was in the hospital. So day 2, we knew we were going to be there at least for some time
Mhm.
while we figured all this out. And I said TikTok was big at the time. I guess it's even bigger now. But
Yeah.
we said, hey, how about we do a TikTok page just detailing what you're going through
Mhm.
and give awareness to other people.
Yeah.
And while it wasn't public yet, because we hadn't told all our family, we at least
Mhm.
started doing some videos documenting day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And by the time our whole family knew, we created a TikTok page, 17 days. And we documented everything throughout those 17 days, and it helped us spread some awareness. It also helped us financially during that time, going through the medical bills and just the food, and you forget certain things and the support. And we had a great community support, but it helped us do that as well. And then once she passed and we did the final post thanking everybody, it just sat dormant for 2 years.
Yeah.
And tried another. I left the corporate world, after 22 plus years, and tried another venture on my own. That didn't work out too well, and decided I wanted to do this. So we reinvigorated 17 days, and that's where it was born. And the name wasn't going to change. The platform wasn't going to change. We created a logo, and I said, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to touch as many people as I can and speak to everybody. And everybody's going through something, man.
Yeah.
I mean, me, you, John, everybody,
Yeah. Everyone.
and everybody watching. We don't know what it is,
Mhm.
and to be a good human. And I know we got a lot of stuff in the way. The world is in the way, environment, politics, everything's in the way. But at the end of the day, we're all going through something, and you got to love each other, man. We're all human and all brothers and sisters, and that's part of the message I wanted to share.
Yeah, man. I have to agree with you. We have to show more love. We have to be more friendly. We have to care more about our neighbors. The days of evil is should be gone, man. Let's look at some of the comments we have. Is it all craziness? Okay. Sometimes, man, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're crazy. But we appreciate everyone for watching and putting in comments though. But add something that's worth something. Let's ask a question that's for the person we have on today. So you've helped your brother overcome addiction. What did that journey teach you? I'm sorry, about patience, forgiveness, and loyalty.
Man, my brother's 9 years younger than me, and we had similar upbringings. We both chose similar paths. I was pulled out; he wasn't. Even though me and my late wife, we took him in 3 or 4 times, moving across the country. We moved him across the country with us. We got him into school, and somehow he'd always find himself back to that path. And about 15 years ago, I gave up on him.
Yeah.
I was done with my dad. My dad had overdosed. I wrote him off a long time ago, and I put my brother in that same category and wrote him off. And he did his own thing. He called me once I moved to Arizona. He was in some trouble and in a institution and in some drugs and cops after him. And
Goodness.
I literally remember the phone call, and I told him, I said, man, I want nothing to do with you. And if you come around my house, like, it's not going to be a good thing. You're not welcome here. And the next day he ended up in prison, 6 years. He got out. I never wrote him. I never went to visit him. I was done.
Right.
And 6 years later, we went to pick him up. Less than a year later, he relapsed. I told my late wife again, I said, I'm done. And she was the one that called my mom, flew my mom out. They went up, took care of him, got him into another rehab place. And I even remember on my wife's deathbed, I said, hey, let's talk about last wishes. Is there anything that has to be done? You know, we're having these difficult conversations now.
Right.
And she looks at me and says, Ryan was my brother's name. Ryan has to finish rehab. And, man, that hit. Cause at first I'm like, you're really wasting a last wish on my brother.
Right.
And, fast forward to today, man, this kid's been clean 3 years. He's got 3 kids, 2 of his own, 1 step kid. He's married. He's got a job. He's got a car. He's got a house.
That's what I'm talking about.
And we started going out every week. We either go fishing, we go magnet fishing. We were just on Fox 10 News, a big article for magnet fishing.
Yeah.
We try to travel together. We have them over at, like, for the first time. And for me, 40 years, I've got my brother. And people go through shit and people can change. And I look at myself and I push a lot of people away because I'm like, man, that's not the kind of guy I want to be with or hang out with.
Yeah.
But I look at myself and I'm like, shit, I used to be that guy.
Right. Exactly.
And if I can change, why am I judging somebody else? And here it is, my own blood, my own brother.
Yeah.
And while I've been hurt a lot and burned a lot, I got to give the kid some credit, and I love him, and I'm closer to him today than I ever have been.
Man, that's big, brother. We have a lot of similarities, man, and when it comes to some of these things, I've had a lot of struggles with my brother, man, and people who know me from back in Illinois, they know the things that I went through with my older brother, the things that he went through with the mental challenges. But he ended up passing away, and we never could get him the help that he needed, which was always a problem, trying to get him that help. He wasn't one to really listen, and it's always tough on the entire family, man, when somebody falls down a hole and no one can get him out. And that's the situation I went through with my older brother, and it's tough, man. It's really tough. I'm happy that you guys were able to come out of those situations and still be family, because I wasn't able to get there for my bro. Like, we was able to talk. Last time I talked to him, he asked me to send him some tennis shoes, and it's tough, man. And you never know, man, when it's going to be the last time that you're speaking to someone. So love your people, man. Even if you don't agree, or you're not agreeing, and you just can't give up on them. I know it's tough, man, because I know I wanted to give up. I did. Because I just couldn't get him to listen to anything I needed. So we needed him to do. And we always felt like he was just making everything tougher. Everybody's trying to help him, but he wouldn't take the help. So it's beautiful to hear that you guys were able to get him through those things and come out with family and job and add it to civilization and being a light in people's life. Because it's tough, man. It's tough. Some people they never come back. But hey, that's dope that he was able to. So you faced some mental health battles of your own. What support system or routines have helped you stay grounded today?
Yeah, right now it's my 3 kids. It's my beautiful girlfriend. I met a girl after my wife passed, and Rachel, and I live with her and her 2 kids, and she's amazing for me. She's empathetic. She's sympathetic. And I think of how hard it is to be a widower.
Yeah.
And then I think about how hard it is to be a widower's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she has to hear me talk about my late wife all the time. She has to tune into this podcast and hear me talk about it. She hears me cry about it every holiday. She sees me or my kids grieving.
Yeah.
And man, talk about a strong woman.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't blessed to find one strong woman. I was blessed to find two.
Yeah.
And that's my support system, man, in the community, honestly. And I've been thinking here lately, I've been doing a lot more social media posts, a lot more videos, and I've been opening up a lot more. And for me, nothing's off limits. I mean, I've done what I've done. I'll tell you what I did, and it's not all good, but hopefully it'll help you. But I've been thinking about doing this post about how hard it is for me to talk about it every day, because not only have I lived it, but usually if you live something like that, you compartmentalize it and take it and put it in a box and try to forget about it, right? I literally talk about it every day, man.
Yeah.
There's not a day that doesn't go by that I'm not talking about something in my past, my wife's passing, a bankruptcy, infidelity, abuse, anything. And it weighs heavy on me, bro.
Right.
And I don't do medications. Like, I can't do the medications that people put you on. It just, A, with my addiction history.
Yeah.
And then B, it just don't make me feel right.
Right.
So it has to be the people around me that just continue to give me that support that push me through.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You have to have that system, and you have to have those people in your corner who really care and who really want to see you succeed.
Yeah. And it's not easy. I mean, there's days I'm depressed. I mean, there's days, you know, I was just on a vacation for a week at Disneyland, and I golfed Pelican Hill, and I did all these amazing, great things, and I'm living the life. And I didn't, but there's days that could be like that, and I wake up in the midst of it, and I'm sad. I'm depressed.
Right.
You know, I have a tear in my eye. I don't know, something small will set me off. I'll have an attitude. So it's not easy, but I'm better at recognizing what my body's doing, what my mind is telling me, and then I have certain things to help me get out of that funk too, and switch it when I need to.
Yeah, man. I applaud you. I know how tough it is. And like I said, you still are motivation. You're still a motivator. You know, you still get up and you motivate others and yourself to just keep going. And those are the things that we want to hear about, and we love to share that story with others. So lastly, what's next? What do you have coming up? Are you writing a book? I heard you said you were going to start one book. You're going to start a podcast, create a new platform, help others navigating through grief and adversity. What do you have going?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So a couple things. I will be writing more books. I'll have an autobiography on the way. I want to have a couple books that are going to help widows and widowers get through their grief and manage it correctly. And there's a lot of stuff out on the market, and not a lot of it helped me. A lot of advice comes in, and I was like, man, that advice is not for me. So I want to write something raw and real, keep it real.
There you go.
I also want to write more in my Grandma is an Angel series.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'll write one for my mom is an angel, my dad, my friend, my sister, my brother, my neighbor.
It's a great
help
idea.
every kid through grief. And I'm also working on a clothing line for widows. It's going to be called Widow Wear by 17 Days.
Right.
And it's going to be a little edgy, a little dark humor,
Yeah.
but something, you know, you got to keep some humor through some of this, and you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it.
Yeah.
So either buy it or don't.
Right.
But some of my stuff, like my favorite says, love didn't die, she did.
Right.
I didn't sign up for single player mode. You know, life gave me ashes. I became fire,
Right.
that kind of stuff. So pretty raw, pretty dark, but that's what's next for me. And then just continue on the public speaking market. And if anybody out there needs a public speaker, I'm available.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. We appreciate you coming on and telling your story. And we really, really, really appreciate you. And tell the people how to follow you, how to contact you if they wanted to get you to be the motivational speaker.
Yeah, appreciate it, Damon. So you can follow me on 17days.me. That has all my social media platforms. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, email. So again, 17days.me, and you can find the book on Amazon or KDP.
All right, man. Mr. Musgrove, we really, really appreciate you. Let's we have a bonus question here from my brother John over here, who was who introduced us to Shane. So we want to ask him a question and what's been going on with him. So you teach people how to apologize, John, using negotiation tactics in a world filled with grief, trauma, and misunderstanding. How can a sincere apology delivered with empathy, help repair broken relationships, and even begin personal healing. It's for John.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Hi, everyone. I was just sitting here listening to Shane's story, and let's give up to him one more time because that was an amazing story. And I'm just
Yes, I agree.
Shane and I met, a couple of months ago, and the thing that I like to focus on is we need to give our people our flowers. Their flowers when they're still around.
That's real.
Right? We need to have those. I teach people how to apologize because I want to save people from regret. Now, regret is a real insidious monster, and people don't really think about the true nature of regret, right? Regret is not something you think about today. It's not something that has any warning that rears its head. You're not thinking like, oh, I might regret this like 5 years down the line. I might regret this 10 years down the line. As long as you're not paying attention to, the regret kind of like looming towards you, you're in complete ignorance.
That's real.
Right? But whatever amount of time passes by, it all starts with some little feeling, right? The feeling of like, oh, I miss this person, or I feel like I should have done this, or like, how different could my life have been? And that's when the tidal wave of regret hits you all at once, all at the same time.
Right.
So the reason why I focus on teaching people how to apologize is because it helps you prevent, that bitter pill down the line. Because if you could take care of all of your interpersonal disputes today, when you could take care of, your relationships today, you're fortifying yourself against, the idea that, oh, I'm gonna be hurt later on.
Yeah.
Right. And also the people that, you go through life hurting, they deserve to know that like you feel remorse, that you want to verbalize your remorse, and that you want to be able to fix that relationship up front, that you're prioritizing that relationship, that you want to bring, them back into a place of like relationship safety, where like the mutual values that you share are the things that you hold at the forefront of like your interaction with them, your relationship with them. So that's why I do what I do. Yeah,
man. And we really appreciate you, John. And we follow your story. We try to keep up with what you have going on, because we always have respect for you, because every time you've always come through, you've always been straight up with us, brother. And we really appreciate you, because you always give us new guests and new people to talk to. And you've just been a great partner of Habari Live. And we really appreciate you, man. And I want to give you a round of applause.
Thank you.
Yeah, brother. Okay, so we're gonna get up out of here. We'll be right back with Habari News Weekly. But make sure you guys go and check out Shane Musgrove, and make sure you check his book out. Here it is. My Grandmother is an Angel, and this guy has a great story and great penmanship and author. So go and check him out. All right, we appreciate you guys. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. All right.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to visit www.habarientertainment.com. See you next week. Peace.